section.
Okay, so first there's supposed to be a drill hole here, so I'm not seeing it, so I'm just gonna mark it so that it's there for all of us to see. We should have 1 inch seam allowance. Da, da, da. And the drill hole should be inside of the seam allowance. There's also a notch. Now that I've done that, I see the drill hole. There's also a notch at that same level. So we want 1 inch seam allowance down the center back of the skirt, and we want to baste it up to the drill hole or the notch, because that's the opening for the zipper. And then below that, there's a slit. There's another drill hole right there. I'm sorry, below that is closed, and there's another drill hole for where the slit begins. So this is open, this is regular stitch, and this is based because we're sewing it shut temporarily. And then once the zipper is installed, we're going to take it out. So we'll slide that under with 1 inch seam allowance, and we'll switch to a basting stitch, so 4.5, 5. And we'll baste from the top of the skirt to the drill hole. And it's a basting stitch, so there's no back stitch. And then when we get up to the drill hole, we'll change to a regular stitch, 2.5, 3 rather, and we'll do a little back stitch. And then we'll stitch up to the next drill hole, and then we'll do a little back stitch on that drill hole. Next, we need to press. I like to press all the seam allowance over towards the right. This is best done with an iron, and when you're doing this, make sure the seam from the outside is really flat. And then, with the wrong side facing you, you're going to take the seam allowance on the left, and you're going to fold it so that 1/8 of an inch protrudes from that center back seam that you just sewed. And that too needs to be pressed with an iron. You want this to be pretty small, like I said, not more than 1/8. Because this is going to determine your final top stitch, that L-shaped top stitch. Okay, we need to pause it so that I can iron it, and so that